Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dungeon of the Mad Mage. This is session 123. Not seven. Good.
Episode 7.
Oh, God. Okay. We're rewinding time all the way back to episode 7, including levels.
I want to be a hunter this time. I want to be a ranger this time.
Nope, not levels.
No, not levels?
We
Nope.
keep those.
We reset everything. New levels, new magic items.
I start walking through every portal just to get back to where we are right away.
So,
What was it?
Mitch?
120, 127? What was it?
123.
Yeah, might as well be 127.
Might as well be. We're getting really close. All right.
So we've gotten 6 levels and 100. Wow.
Yeah.
We're doing
good.
real well.
Pretty
It's not that
good.
bad, 20 sessions a level.
80
actually-
hours of my life.
Actually, you are very close. You are very close to level 12, so it's almost 7.
It's like
but not quite.
You're not gonna give me that one,
1,000.
Zach? I actually gave you a 7, and you're not gonna give it to me? Wow. I feel betrayed. There is a
Oh, well.
deep betrayal within my heart at this point.
Can we find something worth 1,150 experience?
Maybe. So let's start
Their
tonight off
names are
with
the Sethian Scourges.
let's start tonight off with a little bit of a recap, shall we? Previously, in the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, the party explored the fetid expanse of the Slither Swamp. They had finally made their way to the location of the memory fragment they had been repeatedly told about. Here, on an island in the swamp, was a strange wall of bluish light, mostly opaque at its bottom, but growing more transparent the higher it rose. Flashes of multicolored light blossomed behind the wall, creating strange shadows. Within these shadows, the party could see the silhouettes of Ophidian humanoid hybrids battling against a large serpent. It didn't take long for the party to realize that what they were witnessing was playing out on repeat. The silhouettes followed the same patterns over and over again, eventually ending up back where they started as the scene played on loop. As the party began to investigate, Ezrah eventually placed his hand on and then through the wall of light. In an instant, Ezrah was whirled up and sucked into the memory. The others, fearful for their ally, quickly followed suit. They found themselves disembodied, floating for a time through darkness, surrounded by flashes of random colors. Then existence around them began to vibrate violently, and they were shunted from this space and back into bodies. But not bodies that were their own. They found themselves inside the flesh of the very Ophidian silhouettes they had previously seen, staring down Hexakali, the Spirit Naga, one of the Sethian Scourges. The party could sense the memories of the bodies they inhabited. This was indeed a fragment of the past, frozen here somehow. These were some of the last few of the Vrael Olo. They had fought hard to reach Hexakali, and now they had a plan to actually destroy the Naga. But something was wrong. They were missing things, vital objects that had been blessed to make their fight against Hexakali possible. Something was wrong. This piece of the past had been warped. But they could do nothing but fight anyway. And so the party, in their new forms, battled against the living flesh form of Hexakali, who they knew in the present as the Queen of Bones. But they were no match for her, not without whatever the frail Olo were supposed to have with them. One by one, Hexakali unleashed upon them her living frost. The party found their forms slain and their consciousness shunted back out of the memory, where they landed in their own bodies amidst the swamp. But dying in the memory was not a pleasant experience, and the party was assaulted by waves of psychic energy after their failure. Fortunately, they suffered no further ill effects, but it seemed they would get no more information from this memory, not without whatever it was the Vrail Olo had lost. Unsure of what to do next, the party began exploring the area around the memory fragment. They discovered a long tunnel leading southward, filled with ancient Yuan-Ti iconography. While the tunnel was trapped, moss-covered rock near stream was able to disable it, though not without dousing himself in poison. To help heal him, Bones gave Mossy one of the stone giant crystals they had found together. Beyond the trap, the party found a portal that activated when someone wore the crystal crown of Malaire. Noting this, they explored northward and found a protrusion of land shaped like a tongue. The cave it was attached to was bitterly cold, though through some dangerous experimentation and magic, the party was able to determine that the cold was an illusion, albeit one that could still harm them. Beyond it was a mirror gate surrounded by stone gears. The party activated the gate, and to test a theory, Ezrah sent his clone through it. But the clone was attacked by the shadow, and Ezra's consciousness was shunted away. Having explored as far as they could without risking entering the territory of Yerk, the Queen of Bones, or the Sethian Scourges, the party decided to return to a strip of area between the two ghosts they had found previously and continue exploring there. Upon arriving, they discovered a cave that seemed to lead to a space removed from the swamp, a place that seemed different, like it had broken through into the swamp. Or the other way around, perhaps. As Bones and Matashtai moved forward to explore, a ward was triggered, and the cave began to fill with noxious fumes. Bones, thanks to his dwarven features, was able to escape back out without too much harm. Matashtai, thanks to the purity instilled within his body by his key, was able to completely ignore the gas and explore forward. But as he stepped out of it, the smell of acrid poison was replaced by rot, and he saw, looming before him, a golem made of cobbled together flesh. And the golem saw him. In that instant, Ezra's consciousness was pulled away, back to that of his illusory clone. The clone had somehow escaped the shadow and finished its journey through the arcane portal. Ezra's senses as the clone were restored, just as it arrived out from the portal, in what looked like a grand temple near an obsidian throne, upon which sat what looked like a queen, and all around dozens and dozens of drow. The clone did not have much time to take in this sight, though, as its presence triggered multiple wards, creating explosions of magic, and eventually, the clone was dispelled. Ezra's consciousness was restored. But he had been seen. What would happen now? And that is where we jump back into the scene. I'm going to throw you guys onto the map, and I need to know, after I fix some music real quick, I need to know what Matashtai does in response. To seeing this flesh golem, and this flesh golem seeing you.
Okay, I'll just kind of shout back, guys, there's a fleshy golem thing up here, and
what's it doing?
I think it wants to make me a part of it.
Do we think that would be beneficial?
Not for me.
So the flesh golem does seem slow to react, Matashtai, right? But as it is reacting, it does look at you, and you see its eyes, which are, you realize there's no flesh around the eyes. There's no skin around the eyes, right? It's just open flesh. So the eyes are kind of like bugged out quite a bit. And its eyes just like look peering at you, and it begins to like stumble forward, grasping towards you.
Oh, it's coming.
What are you doing?
Am I fighting it or am I running?
Give it a hog.
What are you doing, Matashtai?
All right, I'm gonna fight it.
Everyone select their tokens and roll for initiative.
Don't we have poison between
You
us and
do. You do indeed.
Cool.
Can't deal with
Alright.
it until you deal with it.
Oh. Okay. So, Matashtai, this golem begins to stumble towards you. It does not seem as if it has good intentions. Even if it is not immediately hostile towards you, it's reaching out as if to like grasp you, right? So you yell out to the party. Unfortunately, there's a big cloud of poison in between you and the party. So, Ezrah, you actually, for maybe it's the shock of like coming back to your body in that instance and then hearing Matashtai yell out, right? Like, whatever the reasoning is, you are the first to action. What would you like to do?
How long has it been since I channeled my mislead?
You did that at the
portal.
Cave,
That's how we,
at the North Cave, and that was the last thing that y'all did before you came over here. So probably only about 20 to 30 minutes, at most. How long does it last? An hour? Say what? Yeah. So you still have plenty of time on it.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take a big, deep breath.
Roll me an Arcana check.
$23.
You feel very confident in being able to identify what has happened from this ward. This looks like a stationary variant of a Cloud Kill spell. So you know that it is a poisonous cloud, and that if you enter into the poisonous cloud, it is probably going to cause you some sort of harm, depending on your internal constitution, and it's likely to affect you even if you hold your breath. Because the innate nature of the magic causes it to seek routes into creatures' bodies, right? Like, just because you don't breathe it in doesn't mean it won't actively try to pour into your eyes, ears, nose, other holes, etc.
Yeah, your other holes.
This is a mid-tier spell. So it's not especially common, but it's kind of considered a classic. So you have probably at least a cursory knowledge of it.
Especially the holes.
It's a fan favorite amongst wizards for trapping locations like this, basically. or like chambers within their manors or their towers or something like that, filling with, cloud kill, basically.
Was it thick enough that I did not see where Matashtai went?
That is a good point. I will say, when it fully sets in, the area is heavily obscured, so it is now heavily obscured, but while it was filling, you would have had a chance to see Matashtai kind of moving about, like silhouetted in the fumes. And since then, you have also heard his voice, so you know the direction from which he is going. You can't see directly where he is, but you know kind of like the direction that he is going. So if you're trying to like Misty Step, there might be some shunting issues if you miscalculate, potentially. Or equivalence, basically.
God, you're just mixing every idea I have as I'm going through my list.
I'm not trying to mix things. I'm trying to provide detailed information that Ezrah would have in order to make a decision, right? Because like Ezrah sees all these things and knows all of these things, so now Jake has to interpret based off of that information. Also, this gives me time to eat my chicken spaghetti.
Again.
Somebody touch my spaghetti.
Someone touches spaghetti. Touch it.
Every time you say it like that, it sounds like a request, right? Somebody touch my spaghetti.
Touches spaghetti. Do it.
All right.
No.
Split decision time. Ezra, what you doing?
Yep, I just had to read a spell before I did anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and cast Warding Wind on myself.
Ooh, okay. A strong wind begins to blow around you in a 10-foot radius and moves with you, centered on you. Absolutely. Okay, so now you're just gonna... what's your plan now?
Now I'm just gonna walk.
Okay.
in there.
Just
All right. Ashes and Bones.
Yeah.
I will say...
The cloud shoots out at you as he moves in.
No. I will say, like, you hear Ezra cast this, right? Because there's only a verbal component. So you hear Ezra mutter some arcane words, and then he steps into the cloud, like walks right up to it. And as he does, there's this like whirl of wind around him, and it just pushes the cloud away. I will say, I will give you both this opportunity to follow in his wake, but it will take your actions for this turn.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah. I will stay within 10 feet of Ezra.
I don't want to get super poisoned.
Oh, and I would have bonus actioned Tempestuous Magic, so I moved 10 more feet.
So you would fly away from us.
No,
right?
he needs it so he can actually make the distance, basically.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it going, well, fuck.
Like, he doesn't have
see,
enough
like, a little
movement to
orb
really,
open
like,
up.
get through.
I don't have
Yeah.
3,000 move speed.
Yeah,
I'm like a cat.
whereas
and
you guys are quick. Okay, so,
Yeah.
I will say Ashes and Bones are able
there he
to move forward. So,
I can...
yeah, so you're able to basically follow him in, and that's going to take your action. You will still have your movements on your turn, right? But that takes your action for your turn, okay? Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay. Ezra, is there anything else? So you basically follow in his wake as this circle of wind just kind of like pushes the poison away from him. Is there anything else that you want to do?
It is deafening wind, just to be absolutely clear for...
I'm
Exactly.
sure
I
Discord did
didn't hear
nothing
you.
there. There's
it did zero,
there's
and I
you're in a fucking
appreciated it.
tornado.
Yeah,
Imagine it for yourselves.
fantastic movie, Twister. Oof, love it. No, that's my turn. Action,
Okay,
bonus action.
fantastic. Matashtai, you would not see it, but you would hear this sudden howl of wind, this whirl of surging air begin to move towards you through the gas behind you.
Oh, great. A wind elemental as well.
Oh, fuck.
A poison elemental.
Alright, what are you doing, Matashtai?
Alright, I'm gonna take a few steps. Oh, there's a bunch of things in there.
As you step forward to kind of meet the flesh golem, Matashtai, you realize, and it makes sense as you see these things, right? This singular entity is not enough to fill the pervasive scent of rot and decay here. You also notice, as you step forward, that the rocky terrain is not rocky. It is a carpet of bones.
Damn, I love bones.
Bones will like it here.
Humanoid bones.
No, that's less exciting.
Mostly.
Okay.
The occasional non-humanoid, but... So,
I'm
yeah.
gonna start walking up the wall.
Okay. Let me check and see how high the walls are here. We are in... You're in 8A. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Alright. We got... I clicked the wrong thing. Don't go there. Go elsewhere. As a heads up, because this might change your decision, or it might not. The ceiling here is only about 10 feet high. So it's not especially high up. So if you're standing upside down and someone is standing right side up, you are still more within range, basically. Not that that's not gonna like throw them off. It might fuck with them a little bit, but just so that you're aware, it's only a 10-foot high ceiling.
Well, I'm gonna back up then. And I'm gonna pull out Wolfsbane, and I'm gonna start shooting some arrows at this dude.
What the hell is Wolfsbane?
That's
It's
the
bow that
bow.
we got a little while back.
Yeah, it's the
Elf
bow that
bow.
you guys got for reporting to Volo about the throne, the alabaster throne that you finally found after like a decade. Hell
I
yeah!
assume those both hit.
22 and a 25 definitely both hit. Absolutely. Yeah, this thing doesn't it doesn't seem fast, it doesn't seem dodgy, so it just like takes both of your arrows in its form and it just like keeps trudging forward.
I'm trying to remember. You can draw as a free action. Can you also stow as a free action? I don't remember.
Draw or stow.
Okay, gotcha. Then that is the end of my turn.
Do I have my stuff not turned on? Okay, I had my numpad turned off and it was fucking with me.
Yeah, it'll do that.
Like I was trying to input like minuses from Matashtai's damage, and I was like, this is not correct. Oh shit, gotta swap over. Swapping over. Apologies. All right, here we go. I don't have my people around to keep me in check. Matashtai lets loose 2 arrows. They plunge into the flesh golem, and that is that. Bones, we come to you. You have used your action. Basically, you've used your action to basically dash and follow Ezrah into the safety of his wind tunnel. You still have your movement and potentially a bonus action as well. What do you want to do with your turn, or are you just gonna try to continue to follow Ezra through safely?
Well, I'd like to not die.
Okay. I will say, what I will
Or maybe
say
I would
is,
like to die.
You're a dwarf, so you've got resistance to poison, right?
Mm-hmm.
what I will say is if you use the remainder of everything that you have, right, like your reaction, bonus action, movement, right, I'll say you just hold all of that basically to travel with Ezra when he moves again. Is the concept, right? So basically you synced up your original turn and dashed with Ezra to move with him as he goes through. So on
Okay.
your next turn, you will be wherever he is, and you'll have your full turn. Does that make sense?
Yeah, all right.
Alternatively, you can just try to dash the fuck out of this. You are a dwarf, so it didn't really seem to fuck with you that much last time.
I am a dwarf. That is true.
You only took 14 points of damage for, existing.
It's only 14.
For some of this, that is a very large percentage of our health pools, Jeremy.
I wouldn't like that much.
It's fine.
but no, I'm good with just continuing to,
Okay,
quote unquote, get away with it.
sounds like a plan. Matashtai. If that is the case, the flesh golem continues to plod towards you with purpose, right? Arms
purpose.
outstretched, right? But you have now seen behind him skeletal figures and other like corpse-like figures, right? A mass of undead shuffling, shambling. So you know that this flesh golem is but the vanguard of a potential undead horde coming your way. Ashes. I say that. Let me double check. Yeah, no. He dash. He dash and he walk right up to you, Matashtai.
Yes, say hello, fleshy man.
He responds.
Hey there, big fella. Where'd your pants go?
He says,
Okay. Do it
Yeah,
better or
I'm-
turn off your noise suppression.
I bet that's
did it
real
get that?
painful not having skin.
Yeah. Just turn your noise suppression off.
Oh,
If I
please
turn my
don't.
noise suppression off, it picks up other things in the house. So it's a
Well,
trade-off.
I can't tell you whose fault that is
You
besides
can always
your own.
watch the VOD to hear
He
what he
says hello very aggressively.
Oh, well, see, that was good.
There you go. Ashes, you're up.
Alright, so my action is consumed.
Your
right?
action is consumed, right? You can sacrifice this turn's bonus action, reaction, and movement to just travel with Ezra when he moves on his next turn. And then your next turn, you'll be wherever he is, and you'll have all of your full turn. Alternatively, you can use your movement, bonus action, reaction this turn. Up to you.
I will not deliberately take damage in the hope that Matashtai will not die in a single turn to a zombie.
No, everyone playing so safe. Okay.
Safe boys.
Cloud kill seems like a shitty spell. That's what this is? Yeah, cloud kill.
Yes.
Super poison.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get killed by a cloud, bro.
All right. He's not trying to get killed by a crowd. Okay. At the top of the round,
Other shit, sure. Cloud, no.
the undead horde that Matashtai had seen also saw him and also is responding to the flesh golem. So they all get added to the initiative tracker.
Go ahead,
Awesome.
scroll this guy down. Oh, good lord.
Ezra, you're up.
Oh, boy.
It's fine. It's fine.
Veritable horde.
Did I? So I'm in this cloud, so I cannot see what has transpired thus far.
You have not seen what has transpired thus far. If that is as far as you can move,
that is.
I will
Well,
say
for my movement.
you can basically like push your face through the cloud, and you can now see Matashtai standing there with a bow and 2 arrows into this big ass flesh golem.
Can you move Ashes and Bones?
Yeah, I'll move them on their respective turns because they're gonna have they have more movement than you, so they might be able to pop out in front of you, basically. So.
All right.
Actually, how much movement do the 2 of you have?
More than me, like
45.
50.
I mean, I only have 30, but I have bonus action and dash or cat dash, so it doesn't matter.
I'm just gonna put you here and
Oh,
you here. So y'all can, on y'all's action, y'all can run out of the cloud, out of Ezra's whirlwind, and do whatever you want. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Anything else for your turn,
wind.
Ezra?
Get
Huh?
it right. Warding wind. Get it right.
My bad.
Yeah, no, I see arrows in this boy, and I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to chill touch it.
Okay, sounds good.
25 to hit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 25 definitely hits. You see your spectral hand rake across this thing's chest, and the flesh that it touches turns necrotic and begins to, slough off of the body as it withers and dies.
It's the end of my turn.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Matashtai, how far away are you? Okay, you can just barely see them on the edge of your vision. You see one of these skeletal figures that you had seen previously steps forward, right? And you see it it has a hand behind it, and it kind of like waves forward, right, as if gesturing for whatever is behind it to rush forward, right? And
Awesome.
while it does that, it pulls out a longbow, and you see it nocks an arrow and pulls back real far and looses an arrow at you. So let's see how this goes.
We get cover from the fleshy golem.
Yeah, sure. Not that it matters.
No, it definitely does not.
Yeah.
So my warding wind.
Oh, is it just?
Attack
Yeah.
rolls of ranged weapons have disadvantage if the attack passes in or out of the wind, and I've already got a circle that
and
is
you are just inside of it, right? So
exactly. Yep.
I'm almost argumentative to be like, well, technically he's on the edge and it just like hits him, but it doesn't hit him anyways. So yeah, absolutely, that's gonna function the way that you're saying it functions. He sees that it's disadvantage, right? Is what Jake said?
Yes.
So
Yes.
he sees that he sees the wind just take the arrow and toss it to the side, and you see Matashtai roll an insight check for me.
Okay.
$16. Okay, this undead creature has the spark of intelligence in its eyes. It sees what happens. And you see it kind of make this weird face with its lower jaw, like it's displeased, and you see it draw another arrow and pull back on the bow, but you see it's almost done in kind of like a half-hearted gesture, right? And it fires again at you. An 11. So another miss. And you see as that happened, you see the creature nod its head and it looks over And it seems to, its mouth moves, but you can't hear any sound because you're inside this deafening vortex, right? But it seems to be saying something to someone else that you cannot see.
Okay.
And it's your turn.
Hey y'all, they're smart. One of them's smart, I think.
Oh shit, they're smart.
Oh god, they're smart.
Okay, I put up my bow and I go to using the meat punching bag.
What did you say, Matt? I didn't hear you.
Ezra, did you say something?
You're yelling into a vortex.
First of all, I said in your damn mind.
Are you just talking?
I see your mouth's moving, but I don't know what you're saying. I'm not good at reading lips.
I start punching the shit out of this golem. Punch one.
Taking chunks of meat out of them.
I'm gonna try and stun him with the first one.
Okay.
Whoa.
He's not stunned.
Well, that's a bit of constitution.
He's a big fat boy. He does not seem
punching.
to. You hit his flesh and it kind of reverberates, right? When you do the stun, and he seems completely unfazed. Like, it might be a miracle for you to stun this thing.
I am then going to use patient defense as my bonus action.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It's been a while.
The second time you hit this thing, Matashtai, right? You see, right, like, it's got 2 arrows in it. It has this necrotic rake down its chest. You've just bludgeoned into kind of where you think its kidneys would be, you know, that type of scenario. And it's like, its eyes don't actively change, right? But it's the muscles in its forehead kind of tense and bunch and raise, and its face just contorts and it screams. It just goes,
Thank you, Discord.
Right?
I love this.
And it seems to go a little bonkers. It seems very angry at having been hurt by you like this. Bones, you're up.
It shouldn't have run at me. It's its fault.
Hey, I want to get on out of this here wind vortex.
Okay. So you rush out of the wind vortex, out of the poison. You see Matashtai and this big fleshy golem, who is just screaming. As soon as you step out, all you're hit with is just like the scent of rot and just screaming.
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff over there. Hey guys, there's a bunch of stuff over there. I don't know if you knew that stuff. It's there.
What?
You can't hear.
There's a bunch of stuff over there.
You're still fucking ghosted up. Okay, well, you know, my advantage attack is as good as 2 non-advantage attacks. So I will go ahead and bonus action dash to go ahead and do a little flanking.
Very fair.
I'll pull out old Wind Spike. No.
Wind Spike.
Oh, yeah, the Wind Spike.
Wind Spike in the hand.
And I will advantage attack.
Up into the fleshy mass of the back of this creature.
Alright, I only rolled a 14. That's not great.
A 14 hits. This thing is totally unarmored, very slow, just this plodding
That's
creature.
minus 10. I accidentally rolled sharpshooter, so minus 10 damage.
Okay, gotcha.
Been a while since I clicked old Wind Spike.
Wind Spike.
Sneak attack damage as well.
Gotcha. Wind Spike.
Actually, that would have been a lot more. That would have been like a 19 or something.
For what? If you had...
To hit would have been a 19.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, sharpshooter's -5.
Yeah, you definitely hit this thing though. Like it is
Okay,
not a.
So minus 10 would be 27 total. This is a magic dagger. If that matters.
It does not. You're fine. But you stab into this thing's back, and it kind of like its head turns like full like poltergeist turns at you, and now it's just screaming at you. Ah!
Wait, I think I actually hear that.
Alright, cool. And then with the rest of my movement, I'll move over here. I don't want my back to that horde.
No? Okay, gotcha. Sounds like a plan.
Turn over.
Okay, the horde begins to move. So let's see how this goes. Fortunately, the horde is not very fierce. So, whop. Whop. The flesh golem, standing before you, screaming raw, unadulterated fury, looks at the last thing to have harmed it, and it raises its hands in the air, and it looks like it's basically about to like Donkey Kong you. It's basically just gonna just try to like
I'm not a fan of that. I don't
wail
like
on you, and it seems as if this thing is it's so angry. It's so beyond consolation that it has an almost reckless regard for its own safety in order to try to harm you. So its attacks are made at advantage.
Look at the right side. We don't have to flank it anymore.
The 26 to hit.
that. Yeah, that'll hit. Uncanny dodge.
Uncanny dodge. Okay, so down to 7 damage. The first of, like, it just flails at you, right? And one of the arms does connect, hits you on your shoulder. You're able to kind of, like, slip it, but the force of the blow is so impactful that you feel something kind of, like, crack in your shoulder, and your arm begins to kind of, like, go numb, right? So 7 damage there, and then it swings again. 27 for 19 bludgeoning damage.
Or
Obviously, that will hit. Yes. Minus 19 it is.
Yep, it just keeps like just slamming on you, playing the bongos, and that
Bones,
is
what
its
is your
turn.
AC, just so I know for future reference?
19.
You all begin to see as shambling corpses begin to shuffle forward towards the tunnel, towards the choke point of the tunnel. They're not quite in it yet, but you're very close to all having like this just mound of corpses rushing at you in this tunnel. Ashes, you're up.
Okay. So I am going to jump out. So right now I'm like, boom. That is seeing all of them at one time, be like, ha! Oh shit!
Oh shit!
As you come running out, you can decide not to, but I'm gonna grab your cloak and kind of shift you over to my right. If you can get there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he has plenty of movement.
Yeah, I've got 45 movement.
Yeah,
now you want me here specifically or here?
It doesn't matter. Like that would get you advantage, but like Matt
The creature right now is so reckless in its behavior that you all can see, like your 11th level adventurers.
Oh yeah,
right?
I
Like,
forgot.
he is,
So it doesn't really matter.
he has no defense in mind at all. So
But like kind of as you're like running up, Matt grabs like the collar of your cloak and just kind of shifts you over and gives you a wink and kind of nods towards Bones.
Pat you on the ass, like send you on your way.
Cool. Well, that's fine. I will stay there, and well, yeah. If I go that way, I'm not going to be able to bull rush. So
I mean, you could bull rush and then move afterwards, if you want to do that instead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How about,
You can move, attack, move. Like you can split your move.
Yeah. So from the cloud, I run in
Out. Yeah.
and boom.
From the cloud.
Yeah, that hits.
8 and a DC 15 strength check.
DC 15 strength check. Strength. Yeah, he's okay.
God.
You hit him, and your horns lodge into it,
Oh,
right? But he
you
does
are
not
the one who gets
move.
knocked back.
Like
Okay.
he's just like looks down
so-
at you.
The damage total is going to be 18.
18.
Because it's 10 for the charge, 6 for the gore, and the Feral Might's 2, and you ignore the Crimson Rite because of globals.
Sounds good.
All right, then I'll move. I'll Matt guides me this way, and for my second attack,
Every time you charge, by the way, I hope you understand that I just see fucking
shit. I didn't need
what's his
advantage.
name from Lost Vikings every single time you charge.
Eric the Swift.
Yeah, absolutely. 20 hits, 100%.
Okay, so that is 11 damage.
What and what?
7 slashing, 2 Feral Might, 2 Thunder.
Okay, gotcha.
And then I will use
Uno momento.
my... Okay.
Where are you getting +2 magic from? So, or is it +2 sword?
Yeah, Zalara is
no,
Zalara is now +2.
Wow, that's
Yep.
sick.
In the last rune,
I think she
got...
was the first +2 that you got, maybe, or was the Staff of Etherealness the first +2?
I think technically the staff was, because I think Zalara upgraded after we got the
Right,
staff.
yeah, you guys got
Definitely.
the staff and
Mhm.
then left the dungeon, and then Zalara upgraded, I think. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
last
as you slash
Okay.
hold up, as you slash through this flesh golem, right? Like you see its flesh is perforated, right? Like it's got multiple arrows in it. It's got this massive wound that is just gushing blood out the back of it. For all the fact that this is an undead, or it looks undead, right? Like this creature made of flesh seems to be pumping blood and moving normally, right? It looks just, if this was a normal thing, a normal human, it would have been long dead, right? So as you cut Zalara through, and there's this kind of like little thunderclap in the wake of the blade that sends flaps of flesh flying, right? You see the flesh golem kind of like wobble, right? And it wobbles and then rights itself and looks at you and just screams. Just not like a roar, by the way, like a piercing I'm in pain screech scream, right? Your turn. Still
I
your
just
turn.
got on this tornado. It's so loud. Shut up. Bonus action.
That's a hit.
And that'll be 21.
The golem stays on its feet.
I imagine does that like anime thing where like the dude's about to fall over and the camera shifts to the ground and does this foot stomp and rights up again.
Just screams at you again.
All right, intern.
Okay, gotcha. Anybody trained in
Ezrah.
medicine?
I
think
got
maybe.
it.
I'll check. I am.
Okay, Bones.
Don't know why, but I
And
am.
Matashtai. Anybody else? Okay. Bones and Matashtai, medicine check DC 14.
I can't fail that.
No bad.
Okay,
Luke.
good to know. Oh, okay.
God.
This thing, as far as you can tell, should be dead. There is something about it that is keeping it on its feet. Something beyond just physicality. There is something else keeping it alive. So, anything else for your turn, Ashes?
That'll be it.
All right. He's
This may
done.
come as a surprise, but I think the golem's magic.
What?
You're
What?
out. You're out of the. Well, he's not out. I guess that right. Like Matashtai is still in the vortex, so he's yelling into the wind. Or I guess
And then
yelling into
repeat
your mind.
in his brain and
Sorry,
make a note that I no longer talk out loud.
I forgot about that. Sorry. It's just fun. All right. Matashtai specifically, but everyone else also sees this, right? You see another figure, another skeletal figure step forward. This one is also, like, it has a bow on its back, but you see as it looks across at the other skeletal figure that is currently wielding a bow, right? It looks across and nods, and then it draws a long sword from its hands, and it's.
How do you feel about Seagull?
How do I feel
What?
about Seagull?
It moves
Seagull?
over into this
Like
direction,
seagulls?
and it who is trained in insight?
I'm pretty sure I am as well.
I think that was the one that everyone took. Everyone fucking took insight, right? Everyone took like
Yeah.
insight and survival.
Every
So,
single
right,
person
like-
wants to know if people are lying.
Okay, everyone who has insight trained, roll insight for me.
I'm gonna stop taking that just to be different.
I think it was a requirement of my background. Like I didn't have a choice not to take it, so it's like whatever.
So I think this actually isn't too difficult of a DC. Again, because you guys are relatively high level adventurers, you've seen this type of body language before. Those of you who can see him currently, notice this. Those of you who cannot will notice it as soon as you can see him. But that skeletal figure that stepped forward and drew the longsword and then kind of like stepped out of range, like it falls into a readied stance, right? Like it is not just a mindless creature shuffling forward towards you. It moves forward with purpose, looks at you all, and then kind of like adopts this stance of like, okay, here we go, right? Like, it seems prepared. And then
Great.
we have another zombie rush forward. And then we are back at the top of the round with Ezrah. Yeah. Ezrah, you're up.
Yeah.
Sorry. Un
I'm up.
momento. Let me grab a drink real quick. I like how you had some immense suspicion there. Yeah.
I know to be suspicious of my DM.
Ezrah, you're up.
Yeah, that's not suspicious at all.
It's fine. You're fine. It's fine.
I think it's fine.
I think it's probably fine.
So within my churning storm, I am going to, in similar capacity, summon another storm in front of me.
Oh.
As I channel an ice storm on top of the zomboids.
All right. Okay. What is the location of your ice storm? How big is it? Where are we going here?
part. But I want.
What's the radius?
Yep, hold on. There we go.
The 20 foot. Okay, so it's a fireball radius. Gotcha. Oh, damn it! Get out of here. I don't want you. I want you. So 20-foot radius is that correct? Or is that incorrect? That is not enough. That is not enough. Be bigger. Just gonna hit this whole
That's what she said.
space, right? So like here? Does that make sense to you? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, as long as I can see the center point, because I assume that's a requirement of.
You can just see the center point because the center point is right here.
Sounds good. Then yes.
Okay. So what happens with this? Just a hail of ice appears and pounds into the ground. Each creature in the cylinder must make a dexterity saving throw. 2d8 bludgeoning damage and 46 cold damage on a failed save. Half as much damage on a successful one. Okay, what is your save?
16.
Okay. 16er. We got Whop. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. No successes amongst the zomboids.
Nice.
Okay. We will deal with that in just a second. And then we have these guys. This guy does the dodge. I can't remember. Does the dodge action give you advantage on dexterity saving throws or anything like that?
I don't think so.
Okay. That seems odd. That seems like that would
I will,
be a logical
I will
thing.
confirm for you.
If any attack.
With advantage. Yep. If you can
Oh, yeah,
see
look
the
at that.
attack, if you can see the attacker, any attack roll. Is this an attack roll? This is a save.
Until
You make dexterity saving throws with it.
Yeah,
Okay, Dex saves with advantage.
yeah,
Yep,
dex
yep,
saves
yep.
with advantage. So,
Yep.
So dex save at advantage on this one. Okay, that mattered.
Good thing.
That mattered, and then that did not. Okay, cool. So your damage is 28. 28. All right. I've got.
In addition to that, just as a heads up, the hailstones turn the storm's area of effect into difficult terrain
Sure.
until the end of my next turn.
Sounds good. We will leave it in place, and you'll have to remind me. So, this guy takes 28 damage. This guy takes 14 damage. All of these guys take some damage. And I need to... Ooh, actually... Yeah, I think I'm gonna rule that as... How do I want to rule that?
I don't know.
I'm gonna rule that partially in your favor, but not entirely in your favor. So I'm gonna rule that as a partial split on the damage, meaning that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, why are they all at advantage? Don't be all at advantage. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3. So this immense shattering of cold, this hail, right, pummels down into these zombies, just pelting them and knocking them down, bludgeoning their bodies. You see portions of them burst, break, shatter apart to pieces, right? And most of them do not get back up from the hailstorm, but some of them do.
Cool.
Yeah! Okay. Anything else for your turn?
I take a step forward. End of my turn.
Okay. The screaming from the golem is cut short, right? You no longer hear it because you're all within the circle of wind from Ezrah. And this creature, after Ezra's turn, this creature runs eastward. Yeah. It runs eastward, I think, out of any of y'all's vision.
I don't see it no more.
Matashtai, you're up.
You know what we were talking about. So
I'm gonna pull out the ethereal staff, and I'm gonna commence a smacking.
Okay. The smackalaka begins.
Smeek.
Uh,
I think I missed on that first one.
well, you have advantage because it is just swinging about recklessly. So,
Oh, right.
so it's
Okay,
actually
I forgot
a
about that.
21 on the first one. Roll your damage. Okay. Un momento. It's
one.
you hit it. It wobbles, stands back up straight.
I whap it again.
Okay.
I don't think it has any HP anymore.
You hit it.
Yeah, it's in zombie mode where like we just have to beat its
It
con
wobbles, and it's basically like it's one of the like the Weeble wobbles or whatever, right? Like it goes woof, and then comes back up.
save. Okay. I move down here, and I flurry of blows. And I'm going to
Aw,
hit Bones.
He's gonna heal, bro.
I'm gonna hit Bones with 2 heals.
oh, okay, thanks.
9
I
health.
wouldn't that hurt, but I sure appreciate it. +9.
Touches some pressure points in your neck and shoulder, and you feel a little better.
Oh yeah, he
I move
touches
back
me.
here.
Well, like you had that shoulder smashed, right? So like, you know.
He did. He put it in and on me.
All right, Bones, you're up.
Okay, I want to just keep beating on this thing and hope it dies.
Okay, gotcha.
So I'd like to first get advantage.
Sure.
Damn, this is only my second turn. Holy shit!
You have
what's-
advantage without having to move there. Just a heads up.
I'd like to not move there and continue to. Do you? Yeah, never mind.
What's up?
And then I would like to draw my other dagger.
Dag.
since I only had one dag. I will draw gore,
Dag boy. Okay.
and I will just attack him. You know, with moves.
Attack him.
Which one of these buttons is not sharpshooter? This one. And this one. That should be -6 though, so it's only 4. I didn't click the offhand.
They
That's
both
unfortunate.
hit.
Sneak
Are
attack.
you sneak attacking? Okay.
I'm always sneak attacking, bro.
Always sneak attacking.
So it's -6 off the total, so 41 is the total. -6 is 30.
The -6 is from your second attack, though, right?
Yeah, I didn't click the offhand.
I don't care about that
button.
one yet. I care about your first attack.
Okay, well.
Your first attack after watching this thing, bounce back up over and over and over and over and over again, right? Bones is just like, look, you just gotta hit it hard enough, and
Matt said just keep hitting it until it doesn't get up.
Basically jumps up and wind spikes this thing in the face, and it goes, ah, and just screams as Bones is momentarily like clung to its forehead with the wind spike in it, and then it just screams and screams and screams and screams, and Bones, you realize your feet are back on the floor because it has sunk to its knees, still screaming, and then it just kind of like collapses forward, and you dodge like out of the way before it collapses on top of you,
Oh, well, I was afraid it was just going to kill me, so that's good.
So it seems as if the flesh golem has been felled.
Okay, is Ezra's wind thing still going on?
Yep, there's still just this whirling
What?
vortex of can't hear shit.
So I can't like whip a dag. Can you put an aura on him?
There is one.
Oh, it is. It's just that you guys can't
just
see it.
visible to him.
Un momento.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Let me.
I thought it was
Have
being
always
helpful.
been
Can you
private.
guys see it now?
Yeah, now I can.
Sorry about
Okay,
that.
I go right here,
Mhm.
so I can whip. That was without my offhand, right?
Yep, that was without your offhand. You still have it.
Did you sneak attack on that first one? Could you like phantom blast someone?
I did sneak attack, but they're undead, and I do necrotic damage, so
Oh, I suppose.
I've actively chosen not to do that based on experiences. Okay, well then I just whip a regular dag.
Regular dag.
That man. Okay, so well, do you want me to reroll or do you just want to take? I'm fine either way. If you wanna just-
Reroll for me.
Okay.
This is a different
offhand,
sequence.
Regular dag.
I don't think it matters. I'm not sure you can miss them, actually.
Oh, we only rolled a 12, so yeah, I probably can.
That hits.
Oh, all right. Well, enjoy your 2 damage.
The zombie enjoys its 2 damage.
Fine.
So the zombie, like you hit this zombie like in the throat, right? And it just kind of like
Back into the safety of the wind wall.
it just like holds on to the dagger in its throat. It doesn't like pull it out. It's just like
Well, I'm gonna want that back.
You get the impression that it might be coming to you shortly. All right.
Turn over.
That guy is dead. This guy is not dead. Okay. It is going to kind of like rush towards.
Difficult terrain.
Yeah, that's the rushing part. Is rushing towards. That's going to be that, and then that, and then. Gonna be there. Okay. This boy seems down for the count. That guy
Seem.
is dead.
Don't
This
like your wording there.
guy is pretty deep in it. So he goes
Deep.
there. This guy is dead, and ashes. You see, so the flesh golem goes down, boom, kind of shakes, not really shakes, right, but kind of splooshes the ground beneath your feet, right? And you can see there is just a fucking carpet of zombied corpses to the southwest of you. And one skeletal figure standing there with a longsword, right? What do you want to do? Two zombies have rushed out of the ice field towards you, but they do not seem especially like they have no weapons. They're just the shambling mounds of zombies.
Attack the one within range.
He attacks the one. Okay.
For 14 damage.
That's a hit.
Big 1-4.
It does not go down.
Well, then I hit it again.
Okay. Are you hitting it in any special way or anything?
I'm going for the neck. I want to take the head, like Demon Slayer.
Would you like to do that at a... What did you roll?
That's a 19.
That's a 19. Would you like to take a -5?
Oh, whoa, he's a demon slayer.
Called shot. You
For,
think a
for a
14 will hit?
quote-unquote headshot?
All right, 14.
That's a hit.
20 damage.
It almost seems as if when intentionally targeting these very squishy, shambling creatures in the head, it almost seems as if the damage you deal is amplified in some ways, as if their squishy noggins are vulnerable or something like that.
Weird. I don't like that.
So, it does, you lop its head off, and it just fucking drops.
Okay.
Like, it does the full zombie thing, like you, whoosh, head goes spinning up in the air, lands down on the ground, and it looks at you and blinks back up at you, but the body falls.
Okay, I ignore it and move
It
here.
bites you in the foot and you turn into a zombie.
Zombie werewolf.
Ooh.
All right, bonus action. I attack the one. Oops, I hit cancel. No, I didn't. That's 14.
Is this a headshot or not?
I have no idea what their AC is, but I am not comfortable going from 14 to 9.
No? Okay, gotcha. Alright, let's see how it goes. Doesn't matter. You decidedly poke it rather than cutting it, and it drops.
All right, cool. And I will move here in an attempt to get in the way so they can't start funneling into the hall.
Okay, well there's only one zombie left, and then this skeletal creature, right? And it looks at you
See the second one
like,
now.
right? Okay.
Enter.
That guy is dead. The zombie steps forward towards you, and it is going to
Electric Avenue.
It tries, you see it kind of like reaches out towards you, and it tries to just like hit you, just like slam you with its fists. Okay?
Wow.
Yeah, just very like, ugh.
Well,
You can't
luckily,
be crit, but a 25 still hits you.
Does still hit.
Okay. All right.
So 6 is the normal damage.
Yes.
He's
Well,
still
it's
in
just
the
halved. So, well, no, it's not halved because you're not affected by the crit at all. So,
So it's
6
3 damage.
Yeah, 6 normal damage. Are you werewolf form? You are werewolf form.
I am.
So
I definitely-
three damage, and that is the creature's turn. Okay.
Oh.
This guy
This fucking
has
guy.
just enough movement to close the distance with you in Ezra's fucking shitstorm, and basically like
Ice storm, get it right.
trudges through the shards of ice, and you see them kind of like shattering off around its like legs and hips as it steps forward. And this thing, by the way, so that you have a better picture of it, this thing is like encased in armor,
Whoa.
and like it's fucking kind of like, it's a little intimidating, right? Like it looks like this hellish undead creature just
looks like a dark wraith from
right,
Dark
like
Souls.
it doesn't look like your basic skeleton or zomboid running around. Like this thing looks a little spiced up. And
Right.
it steps up to you like it means business, right? And as it does, it steps forward and it just swings immediately, like it step, and it's kind of so slow getting through the ice that you're like, your guard relaxes just a little bit, but in that last like 5 feet, it's just whew, this blur of a longsword coming at your neck, basically. So here is its longsword attack, the 14.
Miss.
Easy parry, but while you are parrying the longsword, you realize that while it would have been happy taking your head off, it expected you to be able to repel this attack, and that was really more of a feint, because as it swings, you feel the metal on metal collide, and it takes one hand off of the longsword, steps forward, and it tries to touch your chest with its hand.
Consent.
And it tries to...
Ooh.
17. You feel this kind of like necrotic crackle as like a dark energy emits from its hand. Right? But yeah, you're just like, you're too fast and you just like knock it away, right? But you realize this thing is a little more dangerous than your normal zombie, right?
Got real fighters down here, guys. Real ones, like real problem.
This zombie is dead, and at the top of the round, this is hilarious because of Ezra's thing. Because of Ezra's warding wind, Ashes, you are the only person who hears this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You hear, coming from the south, you hear this kind of yell, you hear this, "What the fuck is going on? I'm fucking trying to sleep down here!"
All the screaming and wind.
And you see... well, maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm not sure yet. You see... Whoop.
Oh, God. I know. Shit.
You see...
Halaster in a fucking Hawaiian shirt.
looming out of... Oh, no, you don't. It's just outside. Okay, never mind.
Did
Hey,
highlight
we got,
when
we
you
got
moved it,
Vacation
though.
Halaster down here.
Yeah, this is a straight up a Thomas Bahamas original.
Do not steal.
Well, I saw the token for a split second as Jeremy moved it. Oh, I saw multiple things moving. I'm scared now.
Yep.
I didn't see anything. I don't care.
Yep.
We die.
Ashes, you
Quick
hear...
release.
What sounds like the clop of hooves to
Damn
the
thing,
south
dude.
of you, following the yell of this voice, right? Like this, "What the fuck is going on?" voice, right? So
Maybe it's a centaur.
Ezra, top of the round. Your the magical ice field ends at the end of your turn, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
So it is still your turn. What are you doing?
Salt the map.
I'm gonna swoop past Matashtai.
Swoop past. Matashtai, you just hear the roar of
Yeah.
wind howling in your ears.
Yeah, I know. I know what this is.
I'm just gonna send a.
He says. Hum.
I'm actually gonna pull out the wand of magic missiles.
Okay.
I'm gonna fire one charge, which sends 3 bolts.
Okay.
One bolt at the normal zomboid, 2 at the
Do it up, fam.
The white. Oh, that's unfortunate. So that's going to be 5 damage at the Zomboy, 4 damage at the white.
Gotcha. Okay. 5.
Isn't there another white, or did I miss when he got killed?
There are 2 whites.
One's hiding.
The zombie gets hit, and as it gets hit, Ezra, you see the little bead from the magic missile that slams into the zombie's body. It tears a hole through the zombie's body the size of like a basketball. Like, it does way more damage than you would otherwise anticipate it doing. Roll me a you don't have medicine, do you? Roll me a medicine at disadvantage.
11.
11. That's still not too bad. It almost seems as if the kind of like the fleshy decayed nature of the zombie's form is unable to withstand the sheer magical force, right? Whereas it can take a slash, it can take a stab, right? But magic force is like a brick wall, right? So when that hits the zombie's body, it just splatters. Anyways,
Gross.
you take off basically like a quarter of it with a single magic missile, and it just slumps over dead. And you do how much to the other one?
4 force to the white.
4 force to the white. Gotcha. Okay, sweet.
End of my turn.
End of his turn.
End of his turn.
End of your turn. This goes
End of his turn.
bye-bye.
Yep.
End of your turn.
End of his turn.
End of his
my
turn.
turn.
End of his turn. All of a sudden, Ashes, there is... I pressed the wrong thing twice.
Control Z.
Y'all. Wrong thing twice.
This time I'm ready. Like,
This time
are.
he's ready.
Okay, the other white, right, like, suddenly surges up. The ice no longer an issue, rushes forward, long sword, and you see as soon as they're next to each other, they seem to kind of like be fighting in concert. One of them faints high, and the other one begins to faint high, and this one goes low, right? So long sword two-handed.
Miss.
Ooh, big miss. And again, you see that hand reach out. This one trying to like grab your leg. 15, big miss. All right. Ashes, you're just, if you were a little less seasoned, right? Like if you were a little less of a veteran, then perhaps these creatures would be testing you a bit more. But you are not. You are a tried and true adventurer. You've been around the block a time or two, so to speak. Matashtai, you're up.
What does that move?
I don't know, but he did it.
All right, I run up and start battling in concert with Ashes, and we 2-on-2 duel these whites.
Oh shit!
I slam my staff down on the bottom one, or the right one. Sorry,
He
not
does
bottom.
it. He do it.
I do not do that. Probably
14.
it should be
Just
12, I
hits.
think.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
damage.
12
Yeah.
does not hit.
It's also
So
a
these
natural
guys.
one, just so you know.
How about a 20?
Is it? Oh, is it a natural one?
It's a natural one.
If it's a natural
is
one,
not.
okay, you do not confirm. Okay, so I will say, as I just described, or I didn't really describe them very much. I just showed you guys the picture, right? Like they do look badass, but they are wielding long swords two-handed, right? So they don't have a shield or anything like that, and they seem relatively nimble, but they're in light armor, right? So they are not especially well defended. The natural 1 obviously misses, but the 20 definitely hits. And that is
sweet 1 roll.
8 bludgeoning damage.
And then I kick it as it's reeling from the staff strike.
Nice. Okay.
You kicked.
19 hits. It takes your staff and your kick, right? And it keeps fighting, but you see its head as its body moves, because these are like the attacks that actually hit, right? Like there are a multiple flurry of movements and attacks and feints and thrusts. Ashes is, dodging and dipping and poking here or there, etc., right? So these are just the kind of like the like main line attacks, the attacks that really matter, but they're not all of the movements. So this creature is like moving, dodging, blocking attacks, pushing things to the side. After you hit it, Matashtai, its head turns and you see like these pits of darkness staring at you, and it stays staring at you as the body keeps moving normally. Right? Like, so the head freezes and stares at you, and the body just kind of like continues to move and block and defend, etc., etc.
Like a chicken head, just kind of...
Yeah, as it is just fucking mad and like intent on you.
Not at all creepy. All right.
Bones, you're up.
All right, we're doing things. I can't throw anything out of this stupid thing.
You gotta get out.
I tried to get out, but now I'm back in.
Every time I try to get out, they reel me back in.
My goal for the night is just to keep Zach in the warding wind.
I mean, so far, every time he's able to just like dip out, dip back in, dip out, dip back in.
I guess I'll just take the dodge action then.
Oh,
the whole combat.
Shots fired.
Am I out of it here or not?
Yeah, you're out. You're out of it there.
Part of me is in it.
You are out of it there.
Okay, whip dags.
Whip dag whip. Who you whipping at?
I'm gonna sheath windspike and throw bullshit dags.
Okay.
Just FYI, I will whip at the one south of Ashes first.
South of Ashes.
Bone dag.
Bone dag.
13.
You see
Bone
that
dag
gets
offhand.
knocked out of the air. The 23 hits.
Suck it. 20 damage.
20 damage. You see the first one whips past Ash's shoulder as he's kind of like doing this kind of like maneuver of kind of like throwing the blade off of one of them, right? Whips back, misses. The second one goes over his shoulder and actually does catch this wight in the rib cage, but it kind of just clatters around, like it breaks off a bone as it passes in. But you've seen this before, right? Like, creatures of this ilk seem somewhat resistant to non-magical means.
Yeah, it is what it is. Your boy can't throw hammers, so.
Fair enough. All right, anything else?
Yet, yeah.
Yet? Okay.
No, that's all I can do.
All right, sounds good. That is Duran. Ezrah, roll me a perception check.
This is gonna go oh so well. I mean, better than I
due to the roaring wind and the battle that's going on, you do not notice anything.
Awesome.
Okay. This guy is dead, and Ashes, you're up.
I'll shout down, like, wherever I heard the voice of, like, saying what the fuck's going on. And I'll be like, heal your dogs! We came to talk!
Okay, gotcha. What do you do in the meantime? There's no immediate response. What do you do in the meantime?
That's gonna work on this one on the south.
You're not gonna take the dodge action and not fight anymore?
Nope, he heard me. He can tell his-
Okay, fair enough.
So 20,
20 hits, absolutely.
20.
20 and wait, what do you mean 20? You also deal
20 to
20?
hit, 20 damage.
That says 19 damage.
Yeah, sorry. Wow, sorry.
I'm just trying to
Simple
make sure
addition.
that there's not an
Yeah, nope.
additional modifier that you
19.
get to add. Okay.
Actually,
He's
19.
slowly been sneaking in extra
Yeah.
damage
I was gonna
throughout
say.
the campaign.
All right. 19.
Yep.
Good. Anything else?
Yes. 2 more attacks if it doesn't go down.
It does not go down.
14 for
14.
18.
14 just hits. You are just able to connect with this creature, and it's kind of like one of those, like the first blow, you catch the blade and it crunches into its shoulder as it kind of like shoves you away, and it's just kind of reeling from the blow. The second one is kind of like one of those quintessential like fantasy skeleton scenarios where you just like you take Zalara from like shoulder to hip and just shear through. There's just this clatter of bones, explosion of dust, and the thing
I'm breaking the bones.
seems to kind of like hang in the air, and you see these little Ezra, you see them real fucking clearly. Everyone else kind of sees them a little more dully, right? But you see these little fibers, these little like spindly threads of magic, right, that are kind of like between the bones, and they reach, but it's not enough, and the two halves of the creature fall apart and clatter to the ground, and it is dead.
Right. Then I will use my bonus
Was
action.
that? Oh, okay. I thought you wanted me to open it up. I'ma take it. What about bites? What, he biting you? Bite him back. Get him. No. I love you. What you doing?
I said, yeah. So I'll use my bonus action to get another attack in. I'll look to
Another
this other one.
attack.
I will shove the sword between some ribs, and if I can get in there, I'll just twist and try to break them.
Break 'em.
14.
That's a hit. 14 does not drop this creature, but it is a hefty blow. You do see 2 ribs kind of shatter.
Hey.
Okay, anything else?
I'm actually going to kind of like head this way to
Okay,
see.
so you
All right, I can see something.
You begin to move around the creature, and you see hulking forms in the darkness beyond.
God.
Now, keep in mind, right? Like for reiteration, with your dark vision, you don't see color or anything like that. It's all
Yeah.
grayscale. So you just see, like, you see gray, and then you just see like these figures, big figures, kind of like standing on the edge of your vision.
They're banging out horns.
Roll a perception for me.
Perception. I think I've been using this shield. I think the shield gives me advantage on perception, and I've not been using it for like the longest time.
Does it require attunement?
The Sentinel shield does not.
Okay, then do it up.
While holding the shield, you have advantage on initiative rolls and wisdom checks. Perception, specifically. Okay, cool. I need to start paying attention to that. Here we go.
Pay the fuck attention to your magic
Yeah,
items.
pay the fuck
15.
attention.
All right, I
Yep.
think a 15 is, yeah, it's good enough to see, right, like, you do see broad horns on these figures.
Oh my god, fucking minotaurs again.
But there's
Undead minotaurs.
no flesh on the figures that stand on the edge of your vision.
Fantastic intern.
Ezra, you're up. Oh, actually, sorry, I lied. You're not up. It is the top of the round, and this is where things get interesting. You hear, Ashes, you hear, right? and I think maybe kind of see a figure. No, you don't.
I just see the two big guys.
You hear a figure closer to you now say, "What? What was that about dogs? What the fucker? Who? Ah, I fucking hate visitors."
Oh, this guy's gonna be just a charmer.
I like him. Let's make him my friend.
You hear something on the edge of your... You hear something on the edge of your vision. At the edge of your vision. You hear something just beyond kind of like where you can see. And it is... Ezra, you don't hear shit because you have this howling wind around you, right? But Ashes, you hear this. You hear this chanting, right? And then the floor beneath you, the carpet of bones begins to shake, begins to rattle at your feet.
Does it also begin to roll?
And you all watch as a series of skeletal figures rise from the ground before you.
Oh, lordy.
As more undead appear to replace the ones that have seemingly fucking been felled, right?
Great.
So una momento, I need to
Great.
add some people to the initiative tracker. And then I also need to do... I'm going to do this because I think this is more appropriate. So, una momento. That way we keep a little bit of the suspense of what is going where and when. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, that this works. Maybe not. Looks like probably not. That's okay, though. So, you all see skeletons rise from the carpet of bones before you, replacing the zombie horde that you had just killed, right? And
we just
now
killed those.
you just killed those, right? And Ashes can see on the field of his vision hulking skeletal figures beginning to step forward into his line of sight, and we'll have to figure out what exactly that is going to be and how that's going to end when we come back from break, because we're going to go on break. We'll be back in just a few. See you then. Bye-bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.